Alrighty, Lee Cole here. Hope y'all are doing great. And we got our Monday afternoon Q&A. Let me make sure that you can actually hear me and also see my screen. You should be looking at the sign-up page for Monday afternoon Q&A. And hopefully you can hear me because I'm not muted, which sometimes I talk a lot and I'm muted. So if someone could please put into the chat, yeah, Lee, I hear you. We're ready to go. Let me know, please. Paul, how are you doing, buddy? Thank you so much for that. So, guys, um, I've got some questions that people have sent in, and um, we're right in the middle of this. Actually, at the end of the launch for Tube Subscriber, which is a little widget that sits on your website and helps you build out your views and subscribers. If you've got some support questions about that, just use support. If you don't have the support address, I'll be happy to pop it in the chat for people. Because I have a Tube Subscriber quick start webinar next week at some point, so I don't want to, really overlap these. But one of the questions that I already got was about how to sell Tube Subscriber to local business clients, and as some of you may know and some of you may not know, if you're new to my world, I've been selling to local business clients for close to 10 years now. So I'm going to cover that. And, Monday afternoon Q&A is an informal 30 minutes. It's a time for us to just sort of chit chat about stuff, to give you some insight. I don't know everything, but I do know a lot, and just sort of help you out. So if you've got a question that you're just dying to ask me, if you would please put that in the chat. Let's go ahead and do that right now, and I'll cover as much of this stuff as I can. I like to leave these at about 30 minutes, and they are all available, by the way. Everything here is available for you to look at. All these Monday afternoon Q&As, you can on the same page that you signed up for this. Right there. If you will just go there, you will see all the past Q&As. I try to do them every Monday. Sometimes I have to skip because of life, but we're building these up over time. Our last one was about YouTube optimization and LinkedIn. A lot of offline questions I get: how to use LinkedIn for sales and marketing. Thelma, what's the difference between 50 and 99 sites? That's just the number of sites that you can actually use the plugin on. If you upgrade, then we will upgrade you from a maximum of 50 to a maximum of 99 sites. I mean, it's and you can do one of two things. You can either buy a developer's license, which actually allows you to sell this to local businesses, or you can just upgrade to more sites. So either one, whatever works for you. So I got people in my world who are really interested in offline stuff. I got people in my world who are not interested in that at all. So we kind of like to try to make it available, try to make our products available for both camps. So that's what that does, Thelma. Okay, well, cool beans. Let's talk about, if you got some more questions, just pop them in there, please. I had a great question, which was how to sell Tube Subscriber to a local business. Let's say you got it, you decided to upgrade. Awesome, Thelma. If you did upgrade, I appreciate that. Then you now have the ability to put this on 99 sites, according to which upgrade you got. If you got the developer's upgrade, you can put it on 99 sites that you do not have to own, or if you just got you probably got the developer's upgrade. So well, let's just leave it at that. If you got a question about what you bought, which sometimes people do, I completely understand that. Just hit me up in support, and I'll be happy to look that up and tell you what you bought. But if you bought the developer's upgrade with the 99 sites, in other words, the first OTO that you saw, if you bought that, Thelma, and I think right today it's $27. It's about, the price is going to go up tonight. But if you got that, then you could sell this to a local business client, and the total number of sites that you own and that your clients own is 99 sites or less. And by the way, if somebody wants to just go big with this and you need more sites, let us know. We'll be happy to, sell you. I mean, sell you at a price that is the same types of prices that you have seen thus far for this product. In other words, I'm not going to charge you $200 for this, but we will sell you more. We'll just make you a special license and upgrade you to more stuff. So cool beans. Make sure you check out all this past stuff because this is some amazing, amazing content. I like to say there's more. There's literally more in these Q&As for free. I mean, it's not really organized. It's just me talking. So there's that issue. But there's more in these Q&As for free than in probably 90% of the products that you guys buy. So Thelma, thank you so much for that question. I hope that I hope I addressed that issue with you. Yeah. So. Well, it has to be a WordPress website, Thelma, and it has to be a self-hosted WordPress website. So, in other words, for that, you would have a domain, you would have hosting like with HostGator or somebody, and then you would have your own self-host. That's what we call self-hosted WordPress website. The one, and I can never remember whether it's .com or .org because I don't really use WordPress like that, but the one where you go to WordPress itself and then you get a site of theirs, and so it would say something like, and it's been years since I've done this, but people still do this. It would say something like thelma.wordpress. And I can't remember whether it's .com or .org, but that one, if y'all know what I'm talking about, yeah, you can upgrade so that you can put plugins on that, I think, just because I think that because somebody told me that, but this is not designed for that. Yeah, this is not designed for that. So if you have your own WordPress website, this will work on there. It won't work on Google Blogger, if that's what you're talking about when you're talking about Blogger. And again, we're reaching back into time for me. I have not had I've probably still got them, but I have not done anything with the Google Blogger sites in years now. But this is not designed to work for that. This is just designed to work for a self-hosted website. Because usually, not always, but usually when you get into internet marketing and you get serious about building your business, you go out and get your own domain, like thelmabritton.com or something like that, or somename.com. You get your own domain and you like to have control over stuff, which you should, which is a good thing, and you want your own website. So this is designed for that. And any business that you sold this to, they would have their own website. I mean, a real business is not going to screw around with something like Blogger or something like that. So that's what this is made for. I hope I answered. Thelma, if you need to ask some follow-up questions, feel free. But I'm not shutting you down. I'm just going to move on because I think I answered your question. But if I didn't, let me know. So guys, make sure you go look at the past Monday Q&As if you want to. They're there, they're free. And yeah, let's talk about how to actually sell this. And as luck would have it, I actually finished, here I am in this cool development, and I live in Atlanta, Georgia. Here I am in this cool development in Atlanta called Atlantic Station. And it's not called Atlantic because of the name Atlanta. It's just, there used to be a steel mill here like years and years, we're talking about many years ago. And I'm an Atlanta native. I don't even remember it as an operational steel mill ever. That doesn't mean it wasn't. It's on the other side of town from where I grew up. But anyway, this huge development was built where the steel mill used to be, and that was Atlantic Steel, hence Atlantic Station. But anyway, I was sitting there. I like to, one of the pluses of working for yourself, and especially one of the pluses of running a business like I do, where I'm not tied to something, is I get to get out and about a lot. And I'm really, really focusing. One of the things I'm focusing on is just sort of blowing out my YouTube channel, which I'm doing a really good job of. And I love video. I'm a big ham. I do not get nervous talking to videos, I mean, or public speaking or anything like that. So it's a good way of communicating for me. And so I like to go places, and I like to do, just create whole video series about things, or series. I'm not really sure what the plural of the word series is. But anyway, and I had just finished actually uploading the last video in what we call a playlist, and you probably know what that is. But in case somebody's super new, a playlist is basically on YouTube a collection of videos, and you can see them right here. This is really kind of cool because basically this is a playlist, and I'm going to pop the URL to the playlist. Totally free. You can, I want you to look at the whole thing. This is why I made it. But let me pop this in the chat. Right there. And this is all about how to start an offline business. So offline, that word, which is kind of a weird word, but that's what people call it, is essentially the art/science of selling internet marketing services and products to local businesses. And I've been doing this for years, and I love doing this. You can make good money doing this. And not only that, but it's a ton of fun. I love entrepreneurs. I love business people. I love salespeople. I am all of the above. And I especially love helping businesses grow. It's a cool thing. And you don't have to have an MBA from Harvard to do this. You just have to have a willing heart and some self-discipline, and you have to probably really like the internet, which I fell in love with the internet many years ago. And you just have to be willing to get out there and create a real business. So, when somebody said, well, how would you get clients for YouTube subscriber? I thought, well, this is beautiful because I just finished uploading and publishing the last video in what we got 5 video series about how to get offline clients for anything, because the process is the same. It's not like there's a process for getting offline clients for a Facebook ad service, and then there's a different process of getting offline clients for I don't know, building websites or something like that. It's not like they're different ways of doing all this stuff. It's exactly the same way. So why don't we just kind of go through this? You can look at these videos on your own. They're kind of short and sweet. I don't like to screw around. I like to get to the point. But and they're made to be bite-sized. But let's kind of look at this, and I want to help you understand the various steps of this. And I think that would be a great way for me to answer this excellent question. So getting started, that was just an introduction. But number 2, assessing your skills. This was the second video in the series, assessing your skills. Well, what do I mean by that? Okay, so I basically I'm what I term graphically challenged. Graphics and I do not get along that well, but I'm really good at selling things. I'm fundamentally a writer, a sales writer. I'm really good at writing things, and so those are my skills, right? I mean, I have sort of strengths and weaknesses, as does every human being on the planet. I really like video a lot. I'm naturally drawn to it. I really don't like highly analytical stuff a lot. I have to, I mean, I can do it, but I have to sit down and make myself look at, columns of numbers and figure out conversion rates and stuff like that. I have to do that in my business, and I have to do that for clients. It's not what I would call a skill. It is more of a learned skill, but it's not my wheelhouse. It's not really where I live, right? So the first thing you need to do, this is so incredibly important when you start any kind of offline business, is you need to sit down and be real honest with yourself about what you're good at and what you like to do. Because if you're going to create a business doing something, and hopefully it's going to be successful, then sort of like by definition, that means you're going to be doing a ton of it. So considering that it's the internet and you pretty much have the choice of how you want to approach this, it's not like there's one approach that works and all the rest that don't. That's not the deal there. But you really do need to think, well, if I'm going to be spending my time, like a lot of my time doing something, why be spending your time doing something hateful as opposed to spending your time doing something you deeply love? And you know, a lot of people answer that question by saying, well, Lee, I just want the money. I got it. I understand that. Okay, I'm all for money. But the fact is, you know, you take two people with two wildly different skill sets, both of those people can come to internet marketing, and both of those people, quite frankly, can come to offline marketing with a couple of exceptions. Both of those people can, and I'll explain that in a minute, both of those people can come to offline marketing and they can both do well, do very well with their wildly different skill sets. So considering, and look, I know this, I have coached people for years. I see this over and over again. I see people struggling with trying to turn themselves, the square peg, into trying to force themselves into the round hole, you know, just to use sort of a metaphor there. And bottom line, don't do that. Okay, figure out what you're good at. Figure out what you really, really like. Do not come to video marketing because you read a sales letter that said people doing video marketing make a ton of money, and you hate video. All right, that would be actually a prescription for disaster. Well, not disaster. It's a prescription for failure. All right. I mean, if you hate video, if you hate something and you want to build a business around it, it's just really not going to work. Okay. So people are very successful at stuff. They love what they do. I'm pretty sure that Arnold Schwarzenegger loves lifting weights. And I'm pretty sure that Michael Phelps loves swimming. And had they chosen some other sport because they thought, you know, someone told, hey, everybody that chooses this other sport, baseball, you know, is super successful. And had they chosen that other sport and it didn't really fit them, then they would not have the success that they have. So this is, you know, I know a lot of people come into the internet marketing world, and it's kind of like that, God, I've forgotten the name of the movie, but it was where that famous line, just show me the money, came from. It was a movie about a guy, it may have been Tom Cruise, I can't remember, as a sports agent. Honestly, can't remember. This was like 20 years ago. But anyway, so there was you know, his client just wanted the money, just show me the money. Well, you know, that's okay, except that's not going to work. I mean, if you're going for the money, Jerry, thank you so much, Beth. I'm having a senior moment, Jerry Maguire. Yeah, I mean, if you're going out, if you just show me the money, you know, I'll do whatever. I mean, I will literally dig, you know, a hole. You know, I will just sit around in the backyard and just dig holes. Well, nobody's going to pay you for that. But if that were it, and you know, then it's just not going to last. So this is incredibly important, and I'm spending a lot of time stressing the importance of this because if you get this wrong, you can always back up and start over again. And you do need to learn about yourself. But fundamentally, you can't build your house on sand. It just won't work. So that's number one: assessing your skills. Getting set up for success. And you can look, you know, I'm basically just kind of paraphrasing what's in the videos. I'm probably talked longer than the assessing your skills video, but I'm just kind of paraphrasing here because it is always exactly the same for all niches and sub niches and offline marketing for all people all the time. It's always the same path. So getting set up for success. This is another issue that I think a lot of people have. Beth, that's a great question. I'll make sure we got some time and hit that. Okay. Um, Beth, do you mean to send traffic somewhere else, like to a money site, or is that mini site the actual money site? Okay, so if you would answer that for me, I could probably say something moderately intelligent, or at least I'll do my best. Gotcha, gotcha. So basically gathering traffic and sending to the money site. Okay, I'll talk about. I'll just tell you what I know about that. Okay, getting set up for success. All right. What do you need? Okay, I am personally all about not screwing around. I am personally all about let you know, if you're in business, let's go make some sales. Let's don't have a bunch of stuff that you think you have to have in place. That's really just it's just really just a disguised reason to fail is all it is. But let's don't have a ton of stuff that you think you have to do, and then you spend the next 2 months doing that. And if you're going to do offline marketing, you're never going out and prospecting, right? Let's don't do that. Let's just cut it down to the bare minimums. And the bare minimums really a simple website. And you do not need, please hear me on this, you do not need a business theme. Okay, I mean you do need a WordPress self-hosted website, as I was explaining earlier. That means you need a domain, you need hosting. You get hosting at HostGator. I probably am a HostGator affiliate, but I'm not trying to get you to sign up through a link because I don't even know where the heck the link is that I would get you to sign up through. But HostGator's like cheap, fairly good, not great hosting, but it's fine for these purposes. So if you have, like domain and HostGator website, HostGator, hosting, setting up WordPress from inside your cPanel, which is how you interface with your hosting. Setting up WordPress from that's 2 or 3 clicks, if that. It's been a long time since I've done that because I got people who do that for me now, but it's really, really easy. And then just use one of the stock, I'm talking about bare minimums here. Just use one of the stock themes that come from WordPress and do not spend any time thinking about the theme. You don't want the theme to look stupid like it was from 2007. You do want it to look current. But just the themes that come with WordPress are just fine. They update them. I happen to really love the 2012 theme because it's all white. All right, it's just white. You can focus on the content. So get your website going. You need a homepage that explains about you and who you are. You should be able to write that down and about you. Look, you're not writing, the ultimate sales letter here. Just a nice picture of you. Okay. Everybody here is probably a professional in some past life. So get a nice picture of you. Doesn't have to be from this year. It could be from 15 years ago. But nice business picture. Explain who you are and what you're doing. So have a home page. If you want to blog. You don't have to. Have a contact page. You really want people to reach out to you and contact you, right? So you need your phone number. You need your email and stuff like that. That's about all you need for a website. And if you probably, if you're not going to talk about it on the homepage, if you want to talk about it on services page, like a page that says services or something like that, then talk about what you do and always have a call to action. All right, so I do video marketing for local businesses, blah 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 blah. And then a call to action, for a quote or for more information, please reach out to me. And then phone number, email address, however you want people to contact you. So you need that. I am a big believer in offline marketing of going to network meetings. That is a physical meeting where you actually show up and, shake hands. I love those things. And that is a great way. It's not the only way to prospect, but it is a great way to prospect. Having said that, you need a business card. Okay. I don't know for you. I have my opinions, but I'm not going to tell you what kind of legal entity that you need because I'm not a lawyer. All right. Go talk to a lawyer if you want to. I think it's really more important just to set up your PayPal account and get the heck going and start making some money and then talk to a lawyer. In terms of whether you need an LLC or whatever the version of that is in the country that you live in. So you need a website, you need a way of getting paid. All right, so PayPal is just fine. Yeah, PayPal's fine. I mean, do you want to set up a business bank account? Fine. Set up a business bank account, link it to your PayPal account. Don't make this hard, guys. This is not hard. And you need a business. I mean, if you're going to talk to people one-on-one, I mean, if you're going to actually physically go see clients, which I try to avoid that after I've signed them up and I'm working with them, but I love to go to network meetings, okay? And I love to do things like take clients out on, potential clients, like a little one-on-one meeting at Starbucks or something like that. Somebody that I think is going to pay me a lot of money. I don't screw around with that for somebody that's going to give me a few $100. But get yourself a business card. You can make business cards super easy online, pay for them. They're dirt cheap. They, 2 days from now, UPS will come by your house and, hand you your little box of business cards and you're in business. That's really all you need. There's just not much more beyond that. I mean, just get the basics and get the heck going. You can make it perfect later. Okay, start getting some clients. I mean, so that's what you need to get set up for success. Getting clients. So, and let's talk about this a little bit, in terms of YouTube subscriber. That would be a great foot in the door product to use to just sell video marketing in general. And you can approach that a bunch of different ways. You could just, I would, let's go with the, network marketing, Jesus Christ. Let's go with the networking event thing, right? Where like Meetup or BNI or whatever your country's version of that is. You go to a meeting, you shake hands, you collect business cards, you give out your business card, you hopefully have no sense to follow up with that and stuff like that. Yeah, so I mean, what are you going to sell? I mean, Tube subscribers, cool, but that's just a little plug-in. That's not a business. It's a little bitty piece of a business. It's a nice thing. It's a nice little piece of software, but that's not something you build an entire business around, right? So, but it does kind of lead toward video marketing. So what kind of video marketing are you doing? Are you planning on doing for people? And do you want it to, in other words, you need to figure this out, right? That's really part of assessing your skills and getting set up for success, is figuring out, well, what in the heck am I going to sell? You really, really, really ideally should, and do not wait to get started before you do this, but have sort of in the back of your mind that this is the direction you're going in. You really want to work on selling stuff where the client has to pay you on a monthly basis, all right? It's work, just no joke. It takes work to find one client, all right? So if you got to find 10 clients every month in order to make a decent income, or even 5, then you're doing a bunch of work to find 5 clients. And even if they pay you, let's say they paid you $1,000 one-off payment, in other words, just one payment, that's not nearly enough money for me personally, but that would be $5,000 a month, which is $60,000 a year. But if you're approaching it, now I'm not talking about when you're just getting started. When you're just getting started, just land a damn client. Don't worry about the details, and keep doing that until you got about 4 or 5 clients. But then you need to move on to figuring out what you're going to sell that's a monthly sale, okay? So let's say we're going to sell a video marketing service of some sorts, video ads management, uploading, creating and uploading videos, maybe you have some video software. I personally don't like to do that. I hire people to do that. And by the way, for what, maybe $100 on Fiverr, you can hire somebody to write a script. You can hire an actor to say the script, and you can, and to video themselves looking sharp as they say the script. So stuff like that. So let's say you're going to build, let's say you're doing 1 video per month for a client. So that's a solid $500 per month sale there, okay? At least, all right? Now I'm just kind of free-forming. Don't get hung up on the details here. But that's the kind of thing you want to move towards selling fairly rapidly. At first, you want to just land a client because you need that experience and you need to actually see money. But because it's going to change your attitudes when somebody actually pays you for something. So at first you need to land a client, but you rapidly need to move towards selling a monthly service. The reason for that is, um, well, so think about this. I mean, let's just stay at that same. It's kind of a low number, but let's stay at that same $5,000 a month thing, right? Well, if I'm selling, if I'm just selling a $1,000 one-off product, then every month I got to go find 5 new people, which means I got to talk to a ton of people, okay, in order to find those 5. It just is what it is, okay? That's life in the big city when it comes to selling. But let's say that I'm selling a $500 a month product, then all I need is 10 clients, right? For the same amount of money, for $5,000 a month. So to achieve $5,000 a month with the one-offs, I got to find 5 new people every month. But to achieve $5,000 a month with the recurring income, I got to find and keep 10 clients. Now, yeah, they're going to drop off. Okay, they do. I mean, somebody's going to pay you. I mean, I've had clients pay me over a period of 2 years. Okay, so it's not that they're going to drop off that rapidly if you're doing a good job, but they're going to drop off. But think about this. Let's say you get up to your 10 clients or your 20 or whatever number you want. You get up to your 10 clients, and then what all you're doing is you're managing the workflow for the client, right? That's all you're doing month after month and making the same amount of money. And let's say somebody goes out of business, retires, decides to do something else with their money besides pay you. Well, now you got to go find, somebody just drops off this month. Well, now all you got to do is go find 1 new client instead of 5 new clients every month. I can't stress to you how important this is. And I can't remember if I say this in these videos or not. If I didn't, I surely should have. I think I did actually, but you want to think of this instead of, a lot of people approach offline marketing. So in the world of home building, okay, I used to be a realtor like way back, okay? So in the world of home building, I mean, you have companies that are like, they're building tract houses, okay? So they buy a bunch of land, they put in the streets and sewers and all that stuff, and then they get an architect to come up with 4 different floor plans with 5 different facades and stuff like that. And you can have any combination you want, but you can't change anything, right? That's a tract home builder. So then you got other builders, generally with higher end houses because it's a pain in the neck and it costs them a ton more money and takes a lot more time. You got another builder who's going to sit down with you for a month and, talk to the architect and figure out where you want the bathroom, and could you move it over here, and can you put a gold handle this and that on there, and what about this neat stuff I saw in a magazine for the backyard. And that's totally fine. I mean, if you want to $3 million house, that's cool, but that's not a tract home. That's a custom home. Okay, a lot of people, when they get into offline marketing, they approach it at like they are doing custom marketing for the client. So they get into client, they sit down with them, they pull out all their little toolkit of all the cool stuff that they've learned how to do, and then they make a custom solution for that client. Huge, massive, ginormous mistake. I made this mistake early on because what that's going to do, can you guys still hear me? Because GoToWebinar says my audio quality is degrading, which happens sometimes. It's an imperfect platform. Are we still good? Paul, thank you so much, buddy. So, but if you're doing the custom thing, what that's going to do, just believe me on this, okay? Just believe, I mean, go do it and see if I'm not right. I know I'm right. But what that's going to do is going to put a really low ceiling on your income because basically what you're doing is you're having to reinvent the wheel with every client. And then not only that, but you're inviting the client through your actions to change stuff. Huge mistake, all right? Huge, like massive. This is one of the biggest mistakes you can make, besides the mistake of not getting off your butt in prospecting, which is the largest mistake you can make. But this is one of the biggest mistakes you can make. Don't do that. Decide in advance what you're selling. Decide in advance. And it doesn't mean that you have to sell just one thing to everybody. Just like the tract home builder, I mean, if you take 4 floor plans times 5, facades, that's 20 times, you can have a left facing house or a right facing house times 2, that's 40 different looks and feel of houses, right? But from the builder's point of view and getting the guys to actually build the house, it's the same thing, right? So yeah, I mean, you don't have to just sell one thing, but you can have, I wouldn't have many. I would have like 2 or 3 solutions for clients, like, bronze, silver, and gold. You don't even have to call them that. I wouldn't call them that. That sounds a little cheesy when it comes to offline marketing. But you could have like the bargain basements in your mind. You could have like the bargain basement solution for the person that's just got a smaller business, just getting it off the ground. These are the basics. Let's build up to something big in the future. You could have, the thing that you usually sell, and then, for someone who really wants to blow it out of the water, then you have your, your top of the line gold solution. Go ahead and figure out what you're going to do for people. Go ahead and figure it out before you're sitting down in front of a client or you're on a Zoom interview with a client, and then you're having to do the custom solution thing, because that believe me, that is the kiss of death. Okay, that's a little extreme. It's not really the kiss of death. That is a way to work your butt off and not make nearly enough money. That's what that is. Okay, so go ahead and figure out what you're going to sell, and then go out and find clients. And your clients all have problems. They all, this is why they're buying stuff in the first place. They want to solve a problem, and their problems to them seem incredibly unique. In point of fact, they're not unique at all. Everybody always has the same problems, okay? They just express them differently. So client A expresses the reason they're talking to you in one way, client B expresses the reason they're talking to you in another way, and you're thinking, these guys both need my silver level, solution, right? The middle one. And, you tell client A, well, what we're going to do for you is blah, 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 blah. By the way, that's the same thing you're doing for B. And that's going to solve your problem using the language, using the name of the problem that client A has. And then, tomorrow you go talk to client B, and they think they have an entirely different thing. They don't really have an entirely different thing. They just need more people buying stuff from them. It's the same damn thing, but client B expresses it differently, and then you just, take the same solution and you just talk to them about how this is going to solve their problem, right? And you're not, yeah, absolutely, Thelma. Yeah, you're not fooling anybody at all. You're not even trying to. It's just that that's the way real business is done. I mean, by the way, how many of y'all have ever bought, I never have, a custom built car where somebody sat in a factory and from the very beginning, the frame, the tires, and the steering, and the engine just built a car up from the ground? I think there are probably companies that do this, and I'm guessing those cars probably cost, $500,000 or more. But the fact is, I drive a car that rolled off of an assembly line, okay? And it's not unique. I may think it's unique because I don't see many like it that are exactly the same color and all this stuff. Sometimes you buy a car and then, everybody and his brother and sister has exactly the same color. I mean, it just is, right? And that's okay. But I'm just saying, if it's good enough for the car company, but that's the way real business does things, okay? So get the custom solution thing out of your life forever. I'm pretty sure I talk about this in one of these 2 videos here. And then what to charge. Okay, this is always a giant bugaboo with people, but what to charge, I think I explain it pretty well in that video, and I want you to look at it. We're about out of time here for just our Monday Q&A. But essentially what you want to do is this. You want to figure out how much money you want to make, and you know how lawyers charge you billable hours? Well, basically, and that's not the only time that the lawyer is working. So let's say, and lawyers work a lot, but let's say the lawyer's working 60 hours a week, and I don't know what the percentages are, but let's say 20 of those hours are actual billable hours, right? So you need to figure out what your billable hours are. In other words, going out and getting in your car and going to a network meeting and prospecting is not a billable hour, okay? So you need to figure out what your billable hours are, and then you need to sort of back that into how much money you want to make. I mean, you want to make $100,000 a year, $200,000 a year. I mean, okay, so you can't say, well, I want to make $50 million a year. That's not going to work. You're going to have to turn yourself into Elon Musk or something. That kind of entrepreneur, I mean, there are people who do that, but that kind of entrepreneur with that kind of financing and those kinds of connections and all that stuff to do that. But let's say realistically, you're thinking, well, I want to make $100,000 a year, I want to make $150,000 a year, I want to make $200,000 a year. Then you need to back it up, because what you want to do is you want to figure out how much an hour is worth, how much you should charge for an hour that you're actually spending on working for a given client, okay? Not finding them. You don't get paid for finding them. You get paid for doing the work for them, right? Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that you bill your clients by hour. That's stupid. Give them this is what I'm going to do, and it's going to cost you $1,500, or it's going to cost you $500 per month, or it's going to cost you whatever, right? I mean, that's the way you want to talk to a client about money. But in your head, you're thinking, okay, well, this is going to cost me take Y number of hours this month for me to do this for this client. And for this client, I need to make $500. So dividing 5 by Y, you come out with what your billable hours are, right? So see what I'm talking about? And I go over this. We're running out of time a little bit here, but I go over this in great detail in this what to charge thing. And I think I do. There's some math involved, not too much. It's arithmetic, but I think I do a little better job than I'm doing right now. I would encourage you guys to look at these videos, okay? Again, it's the same thing, whether you're selling video marketing, whether you're selling Facebook ads management, whether you're selling, I mean, somebody released a thing that I thought was wonderful, Sean Anderson and Robert Stukes, about bots, all of that stuff, whether you're doing that, okay? It is always, the sales process is always the same, okay? The whole thing's always the same. So go take a look at these. I've had a few comments while I'm going to wrap it up, but I've had a few comments while I was talking. Beth, do I think there's any value in creating Web 2.0 mini sites anymore as a way to increase search rankings and the dreaded word of traffic? So Beth, basically what you're talking about is essentially a part of search engine optimization. And I was thinking about the answer to your question while I was talking about the other stuff. I really don't do a lot of that anymore. I started out actually selling that to local businesses, and then when we went through all the Penguin and Panda stuff, I don't know how long you've been online, but like 2012, 2013, right around there, there were a lot of big shifts in that, and I just basically ended up having to charge too much money. Okay, I mean, I was happy with charging it. It just turned into, it needed a different business model to sell serious search engine optimization to businesses. Now, if you're talking about, Beth, from an affiliate marketer's point of view, okay, if you're talking about from an affiliate marketer's point of view, there's another way of slicing this. Is, in other words, you build Web 2.0 sites to go to, let's say, a site, your blog about, I don't know, drones that you can buy on Amazon or something like that. The thing about it, you got to get the traffic to the mini site, and you got to get the traffic from the mini site to, to the drone site. And again, the whole search engine optimization thing, if you're using this traffic as a way to make your pages on that final money site rank, to my mind, that's a hard way to go. Okay, I personally, if I wanted to solve the affiliate marketing problem, and I do a lot of affiliate marketing, if I wanted to solve that, I would do that through social media. Okay, so I I would do that through YouTube ads, and Facebook ads. That works a lot better for me personally. It's kind of like I'm answering your question, but I'm not answering it. I'm just trying to give you, the benefit of my thought process. So take it or leave it. But that works a lot better for me than the thing about building. We used to call them satellite sites. Yeah, the thing about building the satellite sites out and all that stuff. So that's what works for me. It's a lot better. I would rather, YouTube ads are still dirt cheap. I would rather use YouTube ads and send traffic somewhere than spend time building this whole ginormous thing out. Because I've been burned in the past. I mean, not burned. It would, Google actually does not call up Lee Cole and ask me, well, if they can make a change, right? I'm being sarcastic. But I have built houses made out of cards in the past, and I'm not going to do that anymore. And that to me is a little bit kind of like that, because once you get all that stuff out there and it's all set up and you put an enormous, I used to do this, you put an enormous amount of work in it, then one change, one hiccup from one of the big platforms that you're using, like Google, and everything falls down, right? I mean, the whole thing is not. So personally, I would go with social media ads for that. Instagram, I haven't used Instagram ads, but something like that, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. I tend to do affiliate marketing through personal branding, which is yet another way. I mean, but look at what I'm doing here. I'm here to get people into my world and sell my own products, but it's my face, my voice. That. So Beth, that's kind of a non-answer, but I'm just trying to give you something to think about that I think might help throw some light on the situation. Let's see. And Thelma says, ask clients for positive feedback. If you guys will get on here next week and ask me about how to do that, I will tell you. Thelma, I mean, yeah, absolutely. Thelma, that is a wonderful idea, but it also tells me I have a specific way of going about doing that works like gangbusters. I'll be happy to, if somebody, I'll forget by next week, okay? But if somebody will remind me, then we can talk all about a killer way of getting great testimonials. Let's see what else we got, and then we're good. Rafal says, or email your list. Yes, I personally base everything I do on email marketing. Absolutely. So guys, Monday Q&A in the books. Give me like a day to upload it to YouTube, and you will see it in the playlist. Thank you so much. Next week we will have another Monday Q&A, and make sure you look at these videos. Make sure that you look at the Monday Q&As. There's an enormous amount of content there. Especially make sure you tell me how I can most help you. Okay, thank you so much. Talk to you all soon.